all of the dreams, all of those things are going to stop. There is going to be a day when you no longer answer your emails. Like, I think about this. I think about how many, even now, right? Email's not been around for that long, widespread, maybe 25 years, something like that. Most people have had an email address, maybe 20 years. All of the people that have died between then and now, they just have email inboxes, just accumulating stuff from, lots of newsletters, lots of online retailers. But there will also be people expecting a reply.
Right.
And saying, why hasn't this guy replied to me? And it's like, because he's dead.
Yeah. There's just thinking, I think a lot about the end of my life. Maybe it's a borderline obsession of mine, but thinking about like what the last 5 years are going to look like, and also thinking about my cognitive decline, which is going to be inevitable on the back half of my, life. And it gets really tricky when you think about fluid intelligence, which peaks when you're like between 25 and 35. And then like at our age right now, it's just all going down, right?
Yeah.
Like we're beginning the slow decline. And in thinking about that, I was like, I will actually never be sharper than I am today for the rest of my life. And the idea that there will be young people who will replace me, because humans are all replaceable. We have proven that. And so when I think about that, it decreases the stakes of these huge dreams that if I don't accomplish them, I will be upset or else. And so it's like we have these big or else's, like we want to threaten the universe. Like, I can't stand it if this does not occur. It's like, and the universe remains unchanged and the universe is undefeated.
Correct. Well, that's why I was my Twitter bio for a long time was locally reversing entropy.
I remember that. Yeah.
And I just love that idea that you have the entire universe, this force entropy, which is going to inevitably destroy everything.
Yeah.
Not just everything you care about, everything that could have created anything that anything could have cared about. And it's going to destroy it.
Yeah.
But for a brief period of time, a few decades, you locally stop the most powerful force in the universe. I think that's so fucking cool.
I don't know if you saw this, but Bezos has this one page that was just brilliant. And he basically paraphrases Richard Dawkins talking about how over time, all organisms revert to their environment. Literally, like the temperature of your body once you die eventually just normalizes with the environment. The acidity of what's going on, like inside of your body, normalizes. And then eventually like, you become one with your environment. And so it's the exact same concept. And so Bezos was talking about that quote, which was about biology. But he said, this is, originally about biology, but so much more so about the way that we want to live, which is that everything around you will try and force you to dilute yourself. It will force you to try and merge in, fit in with your surroundings. And he said, like, this force is natural and it's inevitable, and yet we have to fight it. And the fact that it's hard does not make it less worth it. And I thought that was like, it was just, I reposted it because I thought it was so elegant.
It's like a cosmic regression to the mean.
Yeah, it's exactly that. That's exactly what it is. So I think if we all know that the regression to the mean is inevitable. Again, I think about these things that are, I don't know if humiliating is the word, but like humility inducing. But like the idea that I'll die and then like worms will eat my body. Just like a very simple thing like that. Or if I die, like I was like, what if I just died by an animal killing me? Sometimes I think about that and I'm like, I would just be its lunch. Like everything that I've done up to this point, it's like my arm will feed its child and like my thigh will feed it. And then like they'll leave some of it for the
You'd be a good meal.
Yeah,
it would be a good meal.
It'd be one good meal.
Yeah.
And it just like, it just takes the stakes of like, I'm so important, right? All of these goals matter to just like, I could be lunch. And that kind of, there's a parallel between like the economy or the stock market and your own internal happiness. But I think that's what's happening right now. But that thought process has shortened some of the shittiness that happens, because then it's like, okay, well, it has to be worth it, right? I have to make this worth it, right? Because this sucks. So what can I learn from this? What can I be better from this as a result? And so like obviously there's things that I've been working on in order to improve. But beyond that, because gratitude has been so difficult for me, which I've talked about before. Like I've never once said I am the champion of happiness, but in an effort to try and make it easier for me, I was like, well, how do you operationalize gratitude, right? And so the simplest way that I have is imagine something terrible and then remember that has not happened. Like, it's like I've yet to find, like, that has been the simplest way. Like, be grateful. It's like, what do I do to be grateful?
Yep.
Like, no, like that more. And it's like that it's like it's been difficult. So it's like, okay, and on the flip side, imagine something that you love, imagine it's gone, and then remember that it's back again. And so that's, I think, the operationalizing of those moments, which is, I have this coffee moment. Man, if I never had another coffee moment like this again, this would mean more to me. Okay. And by doing that, and by remembering what it would be like to not have this, then this thing now in the moment becomes worth more. And so it's basically creating a wider discrepancy between the moment we're trying to find gratitude with and something else in order to basically manufacture a delta. Because I think that to your point, like, we're so much more sensitive to the negative delta than we are on the positive delta, that we have to make the positive delta massive. And so how do you make moments massive? It's like, well, then we just have to drop the floor out and then remember that now all of a sudden we went from the bottom of the pool back to the surface, even though we're not above the water.
It's like playing pretend. So
It's 100% playing pretend. Yeah. All gratitude is playing pretend.
I'm not sure. I think if something happens and you're grateful for it, that's you enriching something that exists. But what we're doing,
what is enriching, mate?
Really noticing it, because things that you should be grateful for will often pass you by without you noticing them.
So we notice them originally, and then we notice that we notice them.
Do you notice them?
Oh, I know. I have to remember to be grateful, and then I have to go look for shit.
Yeah. Yes. But even as it happens, right? And this is the point. As it happens, I'm here. I went to Rufus du Sol at Q2 Stadium in Austin, which is where the football club plays, and Rufus du Sol, great music, real cool, and with a ton of my best friends. It's finishing at a time that's not insane. You know, the weather was lovely.
But by 6.
Yeah. I was in bed by 7:30. But it wasn't that loud. The sound wasn't that good. Okay. Well, everybody was like, wish it was louder. Wish it was loud, because it wasn't. We were at the very back of the stadium, beautiful view, but not fantastic for sound. You go, dude. You're watching fucking Rufus du Sol in a stadium with your friends in Austin. Weather's great. Everyone's got a beer or a sparkling water in their hand, just having a great time. This is something that you can notice in the moment.
This has been my big focus right now is, and I'm not the first person to say this, but just winning the day. And Bill Ackman had this, I heard him on a podcast talking about this hard season where he was getting divorced. He just lost $4 billion in Pershing Square, his investment firm. And he was not him today. He was earlier on his career. So, I mean, it was just the worst. And because he had lost his money, the divorce was for way more money because it was based on his net worth that didn't exist anymore. And it was just a terrible slog. And he said one of the difficult parts about that period is that there was no one thing that was like, oh, I can tackle this today. Like, you're not going to finish the divorce today. You're not going to undo the $4 billion loss today. And so it's like when you have these larger, more complex negative things that do scale, it's like, how do you navigate through that? And for anyone who's listening right now, it's like, maybe it's the bad breakup, or maybe you're getting divorced, right? Or maybe it's like the business isn't working the way you want. It's like, and there's like 10 things that you have to fix. And it's like, well, I can't fix that change in the logo until the next run. So I just have to see this every single day. Yeah. And so he had this very tactical advice, which I liked a lot, which is he just tried to make progress, and that was it. And he said, in a day, it's almost negligible, right? But at 30 days, you're like, okay, I moved this. And at 90, you're like, wow, this is really materially changed in what's happened. Now, does this mean that our mood is still being dictated by circumstance? Yes, I'll be honest. Yes, it does. But I think many of us have this ideal. We'd love to be able to be in a great mood in the absence of things to be in a great mood about. But sometimes progress is the W. Like, maintaining in some seasons is winning. And I've had to tell myself that also, that we can have these different, like on business vector, I'm murdering it. I'm crushing there. But like I tore my quad this year, which sucked. I had painful. I have a neck thing that's just been bugging the hell out of me, right? So it's like, and I have two great fears in life. One is that I lose my mind, which is really just more that I'll be a burden to everybody else. I won't know because my mind will be lost, right? And the other is chronic pain. Those are like my two great fears in life, because chronic pain is really tough. Like, the first thing you think about when you open your eyes in the morning is pain. And it's like, fuck. It's like, and now just trying to chip away, and also to take the reverse of, I had this one great podcast today. I'm going to make that thing the thing that's making this a great day. And then if I can make that great day, then maybe it could be a great week. And then trying to expand those, basically like let those good moments eat up the season. And I made a conscious decision on May 1st. And I think I send you the screenshot of my HRV?
Yes.
So it was May 1st. I was like, fuck this. I was like, I told Layla, I was like, I have decreed that the rest of the year will be good. And so I'm putting so much mental effort into this, which is why this is so timely from us talking about it. In actively trying to minimize all the down things and super, super focus on those moments and be like, cool, I had that good moment. That's my day. Day's made. And I'm trying to even say that more. Like, oh, this podcast made my day. This podcast made my week. Now, I used to think, oh, this made my week. When someone would say something small, I'd be like, that's what made your week? Like, you must not have a lot going on.
So true.
Right? Like, I like my own judge machine, right?
That's lame.
Yeah, exactly.
What a stupid thing. Oh my God. How feeble, how small is your life that something so unimpressive is a source of gratitude to you?
Yeah. For a week or a month.
And yet,
yeah,
your life is made up of small days like this. That is what life is.
Yeah.
And if your expectation of life is that it's going to be, well, until I play the main stage at EDC, until I make the $1 billion, until I get married to the love of my life, until I get these things, you're just holding your happiness hostage until something great happens.
Yeah.
And what if, again, it's what we said before, what if something small could be something great?
Yeah. And it exists in the specific. Those like the tiny moments, and that so that's been
boring
a
victories,
huge focus.
Dude. Boring victories.
But trying to make it, basically, I've had to recalibrate my entire scale to how little of a thing can happen that makes my day. How little of a thing can happen that makes my week. How little of a thing can make my month. And like, how crazy would it be if a year from now I say 2025 was a great year? You know, I woke up pain-free for probably like 70% of my days. That was a great year. But like, I got to have coffee with Layla in the morning once a week, and that filled me up for the whole week. Like, if I can, and I want to, I'm putting, so anyone who's listening to this, like, I'm putting a huge amount of my discretionary effort into this, because it's my belief that right now, what will prevent me from achieving my ultimate goals, because that motherfucker's not gone. The thing that will stop me from achieving my ultimate goals is running out of steam, because, and this may not be real for some people, but like, I don't need to do this. Like, I don't need to work this hard. And so I have to I'd prefer to make